What's up, y'all? I don't have nothing in my nose. Yeah, my allergies has been cutting up. I mean, but in this video, I just kind of want to talk to y'all, and I want to tell y'all. I mean, my season, the season isn't over for me per se, but I did want to talk to y'all and kind of tell y'all what I felt like some of my successes and failures were this year. So, and then things that were kind of in between. So, we'll start with the failures. So, there were a lot of things that I wanted to get done. For one, this mulberry tree I wanted to get cut down. What else did I want to really get down? It was some things that I just wanted to do. Like I wanted to get this mulberry cut down. There were a couple of places that I waited until late in the season, didn't grow anything. My actual gooseberry, and let me mention this to y'all. A lot of y'all be wanting, like, cause it's a couple of people asked me for gooseberries, and I know what you mean. You mean ground cherries. There's a particular gooseberry that they call a Cape Cod gooseberry. It's not a true gooseberry. I had true gooseberries. True gooseberries grow on this bushy, thorny. It's a bush. It's thorny, and they look like grapes with little stripes in them. They almost look like almost like a hot air balloon, but they're round instead of, you know how a hot air balloon is kind of big at the top and then comes down to not quite a point, but you get what I'm saying. But they're oval and round, and they have those little lines in them. They almost look like the Hindenburg, but they're turned this way. Y'all know what the Hindenburg was? Big blimp thing that blew up. Well, it caught fire and crashed. Anyway, so that was. Oh, I'm turning y'all like y'all looking at me. Let me see. That was my gooseberry, the real gooseberry. They really grow gooseberries in England mostly. I think this thing is dead. Yeah, I'm almost certain it's dead. I think where I had it, it just was too hot. It just was cooking and baking. And I did try the gooseberries. They're pretty good. I might get another plant. I had green and red. And then they have what's called a Josta berry, which is a currant and a gooseberry cross. That one died on me fairly quick. I got all those from Tractor Supply for like $1. And I kept that gooseberry for a couple of years. And it did fruit make gooseberries, and they were good. But back to what I was saying. The ground cherries, even though it's called a Cape Cod gooseberry, a lot of times when they name plants like that, they're naming them because they're giving them, like, it's just like Jamaican sorrel is called a Florida cranberry. You get what I'm saying? But it's not a cranberry at all. It's hibiscus. But they're likening it. Yeah, whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. My allergies, my mind. It's been a long day. But yes, because it's sour and it's that crimson color, they call it a Florida cranberry. Even though it's not a cranberry, it's the same thing with Cape Cod gooseberry. Even though it's not a gooseberry, I guess it's supposed to be similar in taste to a gooseberry. So they're likening it to that, because gooseberries are really a UK thing. Well, I mean Europe. I mean, not saying you can't grow them here, you can. But they're more prevalent in Europe. That's why they make gooseberry jam and stuff like that. But yeah, so my real gooseberry was a failure because I lost it. It died this year. All of those onion sets that y'all watched me plant, 90% of those didn't come up. I don't know if they were because they were bad onions or because I didn't keep them watered in good enough. My tomatoes were not what it do this year. They could have been much better. I won't call my ground cherries a fail because I did get some, but they started making so late in the season that I didn't get the sheer volume that I wanted. My tomatoes, I really just started being able to get tomatoes here fairly recently. Speaking of, I got a pocket full of mini San Marzanos. I'm trying to think what else. My watermelons, I don't want to call them a failure, but I didn't have very many big ones. But even though they weren't big, they tasted good. That's why I said I don't want to call that a failure. My sweet potatoes, I did not get the harvest that I wanted to get out of those, but I did get a lot of sweet potato greens, so I don't want to call that a failure either. That's kind of in between. So now let me talk about the stuff that I feel. Oh, the bush beans that I grew. I did like the bush beans. I wish I had gotten more of them. I planted them too late. That was my fault. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it helps you sometimes to go through your garden and evaluate what went well, what went bad, and why, and all that kind of stuff. My success is overwhelmingly the garlic. My garlic harvest was great. My peppers, as y'all can see, they're still doing great. Now they started making fruit late, but they're doing great. All of the garlic that I planted back that came back, they look like they're going to be good. I mean, I'm not going to completely call them a success, but a lot of them came back. A lot of the bunching onions that I moved and transplanted and stuff like that was good. The Swiss chard was good while it lasted. I did get some seeds out of the Swiss chard. My collards, all the greens and stuff. Y'all, neighbor acting like plum ass food. Let me see, can y'all see? Y'all see him standing out there? Lord, I don't know what is going on. He is talking and cussing and acting a fool. But anyway, oh my purple hull peas, they didn't do too good. I remember my purple hull peas didn't do too good. My sugar snap peas early in the spring, they didn't do too good. Did he get in the car? Nah, he walked down the street. Probably gonna get in the car with them. Oh Lord, he hollering, he gonna kill her. And she hollering out the door. He been hollering in the door all day. Now he finna get in the car with him. Oh Lord, it's too much going on, y'all. It's too much. Today it's I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's the weather. The weather's not cold enough to make the Negroes go in the house. Anyway, my purple hull peas didn't do like how I wanted. I did get some purple hull peas. My butterfly peas the seeds wasn't even butterfly peas. So, but they turned out to be those black field peas, which I'm excited to grow next year because I did get plenty seeds to be able to grow those. My lady cream peas did okay. I didn't get the harvest that I usually get out of them, so that wasn't the hottest thing either. But y'all, for the most part, my grocery store experiment with my long sweet red peppers, those are doing good. Planting those Great Northerns over there did good because I harvested off of them again, and really I just been taking the beans and laying them down there, letting them compost in place, because like I said, that's really just a cover crop. I'm not a huge Great Northern person, but I got those beans for free, so they can just be a cover crop. So it's like yeah, I hope you don't start talking to me. So let's see, greens were a success to me this year. What I did better with the greens, I stayed on top of my pest control. I stayed on top of keeping them sprayed and all that kind of stuff. My goji berries, those were a success, got them moved. The mulberry was a success, got it moved. I'm trying to think. Jesus. But Lord have mercy. Hey, y'all can't see what I can see. Y'all be glad you can't see what I can see. It be too much for me. It be too much for me. It be too much for me. But yeah, I stayed on top of my pest control with the collards Yes, baby. Blueberries at the beginning of the season were a success, but I suspect that my success next season will be even better because I moved that pot, I fertilized them more, and they put on a lot of growth after they got the blueberries. So next year I should have even more. Oh, I see some garlic coming up. Okay, garlic. There's some new garlic that I hadn't seen. That I knew I planted, but I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes when you plant those garlic corms, sometimes not all of them come up. Give me a second, loudness. They don't always. All of them don't come up. Not at 100%. The vast majority of them will. Yeah, this blueberry, I think it's gonna be much better. So I did put the blueberry out here in the sun, which I think helped. Blueberry will make blueberries in the shade, but I think putting it in the sun helped because it branched a lot. It put on a lot of new growth. I see a lot of what I call fruiting buds. I don't know if that's what other people call them. Okay, don't break off nothing else because that was live. But yeah, I see a lot of, basically my blueberry plant looks like it's gonna be pretty good come spring. I think I'm gonna have an even better crop of blueberries, and that's what I want because those blueberries are delicious. That's another fruit if you never had a blueberry. Oh my god. Oh, not so good last year, the bananas. I let the pseudo stems, they died back down to the ground. This year I'm doing better about really protecting them as far as those pseudo stems, and I'm gonna do my damnedest to try to make sure they don't die back to the ground because I'll never get bananas if they die back down to the ground like that. What else, y'all? I didn't get the blackberries that I wanted, but I didn't expect that because I put them in the ground last year. So we're going to see what the blackberries do next year. I'm hoping for a better crop on the blackberries next year. Papayas. My papayas are doing better, at least thus far. I've been able to protect them. They're still doing good. I pinched the tops out of them, so hopefully that'll force them in to start fruiting a little faster, a little bit. I know the root system's got to be a little bit bigger, but they got to stay in those pots right now until spring. So they got to stay in there. Did better with the Cuban oregano and stuff like that. I didn't let it die. I kept cutting, so I did better with that this year. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm working through leaves. So I have cuttings in the greenhouse. The tissue paper plant as well. What else? My melons sucked. My cucumbers sucked this year. Well, when I say melons, I had planted some melons I planted some lemon drop melons. I planted them in a crappy spot. I'll never plant those melons in that spot again, ever again. So that was on me. I kind of was experimenting with that, but it's okay. I still have seeds. But those, I have plenty of seeds. That's why I was very conservative with how I planted those. So we'll see will I get some lemon drop melons next time. My little swimming pool did pretty good. I still have black mint in there. The parsley did really good. The goji berry cuttings I did really well with. That's why I'm able to offer goji berry cuttings. Transplanting Angela's strawberries. The strawberries she sent me, those went really well. Transplanted in there. The parsley's even coming back. Hopefully that black mint will go to seed, but if it doesn't, I have some seeds. I really want to get to the point where I just let that black mint go to seed. It self-seeds itself. It can do it if you know what I mean, if it'll go ahead and go to seed, but I think it doesn't need full sun, but it needs some sun in order to go to seed. Let me look at it. Oh yeah, I see it's starting to go to seed now. It also goes to seed so late in the year. And I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all not growing that black mint, it's called black mint or it's called Peruvian mint. It's in the marigold family. But you can take those leaves and you can make like almost like pestos with it. You can marinate meat with it. I usually like take a mortar and pestle and put some of the leaves in there with some olive oil and grind it up and then add whatever seasonings I want, or add peppercorns and red pepper flake, or just whatever you want. And then you'll have like that That makes a good marinade. But if you want to make pesto, try that instead of basil. And then because pine nuts is high, y'all. Instead of pine nuts, I use cashews. Child. You talking about that pesto be good? But I'm just trying to tell y'all. This year peaches, I didn't get any fruit, so that was that. The fuyu I was fine with. Only got one. No apples. That's normal because, like I said, that tree can't pollinate itself. The pears, I got a few pears off the big tree. I got no pears off these small trees, so that wasn't what it do. The turmeric did well. The ginger did well. At least as far as the plants look. I haven't dug them up yet to see. What's some things called? What's this coming up? Oh, this is some garlic. Oh, snaps. I need to plant you somewhere. So when you, wait a minute, let me show you. When you plant those corms, this is what you're going to get. So apparently I had a little bit of leftover garlic back here. And I'm going to plant this garlic up in the front where I think it'll do a little better. But you see, it'll grow a little root. And this is elephant garlic. So you start with just the corm. Remember those little pieces, when you dig it up, they break off the side. And they usually stay down in the ground, because wherever you pull it up at, you'll almost always have garlic there, unless you just thoroughly dig and make sure you get all of those corms. But when you get the corms, this is when they start growing. And by the end of the season, you'll probably get one of these. It'll be like one big clove of garlic, but if you leave it in the ground again for a second year, you'll get it even bigger. You'll get a head with maybe 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. And at that point, that's when I take them. If you notice, I planted back a lot of my garlic, and that's the reason why. Because I want nice, big, healthy things, you know. At least when it comes to garlic. So don't always think garlic is a 1 year kind of thing. Garlic sometimes does take a couple of years, especially when you're going from corms. You can actually buy those corms online. But that was just some side tips. But yeah, y'all. I'm just, look, something been up here digging. I can't hardly stand it. What's been digging? It ain't even nothing up here. Oh, unruly squirrels. I already know that's what it was. Doggone squirrel. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm playing. Tamp this in. But yeah. So y'all, I'm trying to think. I think that my okra was so. I was getting okra, but I didn't get okra nearly as good as I wanted to get it. My sprouting broccoli did well in the spring, and then it came back in the fall. The sesame did really well for me, not even really knowing what I was doing. I got to show y'all that video. Show y'all the video how to get the sesame seeds out. It's super easy. It turned out being super easy. Scotch bonnets galore, just peppers galore. Just like I said, the stuff that usually does well for me that didn't do well was tomatoes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna stop being lazy and actually hold this phone up so y'all can see. My roses did really well this year because I stayed on top of pruning them. But you know, it's not too much to complain about. But I would suggest you don't have to do a video per se, but if you wanted to, you could. But y'all do your little year-end review and go over, you know, what did well, what didn't do so well, what you'll do next time, what you wouldn't do next time. That way you kind of know, you know what I'm saying, what you're dealing with. And that's a good practice to have or whatever. So yeah, that's it for me, y'all. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.